Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This episode is being shot in a very cold day in Vienna in front of Stephansdom. So for this episode we will be shooting a roll of Ilford XP1 400 expired in April 1983. And as usual for the equipment we will be shooting with the Canon EOS 300 with the Canon f 50mm 1.8 and the Pentacon 29mm f2.8.
Cut off your nose to spy your face.
Ilford's XP line was introduced in 1980 at Photokina, and sales started in January 1981, and since then it has gone through a number of changes in the emulsion. The current version is called, yeah, you guessed it right, Ilford XP2 400 Super, and its greatest rival was Kodak's Portra BW400CN. The need for improving the emulsion throughout the years has to do with the scanning process, as scanners are typically balanced to lights between 5500K to 6800K, and all the emulsions to 3200K, because the enlargers back then used halogen tungsten light instead of white light. The XP2 was introduced in the spring of 1991, and further improvements in the emulsion were made in 2012 regarding the scanning methods and the ICEE technology system, so the Ilford XP2 400 Super was released. The XP family is not a traditional black and white film. It uses CMY layer dyes, which result in a chromogenic process instead of using silver halide grains to give the shape of the picture in the emulsion, similarly to the RGB positive system used in scanners and Patterson-Phillips enlargers. But we need to be aware that it's still a subtractive layer system. I'll link you to this information in the description. There's a great lomography article about the XP1 that you should definitely have a look. Finally, the results came back from the lab, and I must say I'm very pleased with the results. They came back very contrasty and very grainy, but it's also something expectable from a film that has been expired for about 36 years now. This was expired in April 1983, if I'm not mistaken, and there was no compensation during exposure, and also not compensated during development. So it was shot at ISO 400 and developed also at ISO 400. I also think that this film is now presenting a low latitude. There's not many grays in between the whites and the blacks, but it's also something very expectable from such a long expired film. Another thing I want to talk about is where do I get my film from? Because so many people come to me and ask me this question. Well, I started by buying from this guy in Portugal. He has an eBay store. I will link his store in the description section below. And now, because he also follows the channel, he decided to sponsor these episodes by offering me a stash of film that I will be using in this one already and further episodes on this channel. Obviously only expired film. Fresh film will be always bought in normal shops. You can find it anywhere. So I have used a lot of his stash. It's great film. I have been achieving great results, so I definitely give a shout out, and it's a pleasure to work with him. Another shout out I want to leave on this episode is for Cesar and his lab in Portugal, Focus AG, because if you're looking for a lab that scans and develops with very high quality, this is definitely the lab that you're looking for. Again guys, if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please support the channel by subscribing, and if you have, make sure you have activated the bell so you can receive an email every time we upload a new video.
Cut off your nose to spy your face. Slowly send your palms away. Draw fire, crawl out and seek the shade. Slowly send your palms away. A fine line will set you on palm. Swallow my name, swallowing down. Sing me a song. Shoot the breeze, shaking my hand across the fire. I call you stand. Sing me a song. the breeze.